So I haven't had a chance to share about my trip to Florida, to America. And it was a real wonderful experience, a really, really wonderful experience. And there was just so many things that happened. And I've recorded them. It's just so long. And it just sounds sort of goofy. And I think probably this will sound a little goofy. But the main thing that I wanted to share with you was how we developed the support structure for the monastery, which was being kept open and hanging by a thread in terms of its support. There was just a few families, maybe 4 families, that were really supporting the place. I think there was enough money, but to support it, but there's the issue of supporting a monk who follows the rules. We can't store food, we don't touch money, and we can't accept food. We can't take food that's not been formally offered to us. And so we need someone every day to offer us food. And so it's one of my goals was to see if we could make it work. And if there's a long-term solution, a short-term solution is, yeah, we have people scramble for like a week or 2 weeks or a month. But the question is, can it be sustained? Can you really sustain this? You know, can you do this for the long term? And with four families or so, it's not so easy. There was an idea. I have a friend who sends me Subway sandwiches. He sends me them. He sent me them when I was in Hawaii, and that was one of the ways that I survived while I was in Hawaii. Although I went through the village and with my alms bowl, and then I still needed them, but it definitely sometimes I was short and I didn't have enough food, and I could just go to the Subway and get some food that has nutrition, whatever. It's a meal. And it's a definitely well needed meal if you don't have enough food, if you don't have any food actually. So that's very well appreciated. And there's actually a Subway nearby, actually, within maybe a mile. You could walk there in 30 minutes or something like that, walking at a moderate speed. So there wasn't much support structure. And the very last day of the second to last day of when I was there last, maybe 6 months ago, this Vietnamese person came for the Patimokkha Day, and we had invited a few Vietnamese monks, and so this person was also invited, maybe by one of the monks there. And he came to me. He says, I live 15 minutes away. Whatever you need, let me know. These are the magic. If you ever need anything, let me know. It's the magic word, so we can tell you what we need or what we want or what, etc. Anything. And so I asked him. I said, "Can you offer food? Pindapata food, the meal, on the road? You can go to this parking lot, such and such place, and you can offer, and then people will know that I'm collecting my meal this way. Alms, going alms round." And that's something I was doing every day or almost every day last time. And then this last trip, I was definitely doing it every day except for the first day. And so when I came back 6 months later, he found out that we were there, and he was there a lot of the times, offering us the meal. He really liked it. People usually like to offer food, offer alms. on the road. It's a traditional way for monks to get the meal, but it's also a way that we can sustain ourselves. We can sustain ourselves for the long term. I mean, this is the way the monks live. It's very convenient. You don't have to do so much talking and blessings, and if the lady is alone, you're in a public area. So it can work for the long term. It can work for the long term. And so what happened was he started coming nearly every day after his project was finished that he had. And yeah, it was really good. So I think he or his wife or his sister-in-law told some people about us, and so then some other people came. This is the Bodhi tree, by the way, of the monastery. And over here is the Sima. It's a place where we have the chanting of the rules. And I guess we could ordain people, but in our tradition, we have a special place that we ordain people. So after a while, some Vietnamese people found out that we were collecting alms on the road, and they started coming one by one. It grew. It slowly grew. There was another lady, she started coming, and another lady, she started coming. And after a while, there was like maybe 8 or 10 different Vietnamese people. And we also had Sri Lankan people come too. And they sometimes would catch us on the road or after we came back as well. And so it was a really great experience, because originally, like I said, there was not a lot of a support structure. And by the time we left, there were some Sri Lankan people who were coming. Some were actually very close. I don't know if they'll come again, because they're we had a guest monk who was Sri Lankan, and he happened to know these people. He used to work with them when he was a lay person. But there was also 2 other Sri Lankan families that know a common person that I know, and they came a couple times. I even got dropped off at the airport by a Sri Lankan family. And the son goes to school right near, not very far from where I was living. And I went for alms every day in this cute little village, church village. I have a video that talks about what I did, wishing loving kindness in front of each house, and how I was inspired by the original Bhante Subhuti Mahatera from the time of the Buddha. And everyone was just really, really, really friendly. I'd have to say, I'd hate to say this, but more friendly than Hawaii, generally speaking. But the people who are interested in what I was doing, they're different from the people who are interested in Kauai. And we were able to meet some people who talked with us. If you go enough times, people will find out, that you're around. They get their courage up to come and speak with you. And so we had one lady. One time I was alone. I think the other monk was sick and not feeling well, and this one lady, some water was spraying around, and she came out of her house, and she saw me standing in front of her house, and she saw something about us on a private Facebook group, and so she came and spoke with me for a while, and I told her, you can come to the house if you want, and I told her where we live, and she's a native to the town. People have lived there the whole lives, and we weren't very far, so she knew where we were. And she says, "Is that the place with the funky writing?" With the sign with the funky writing. It's the Myanmar letters, yeah, of the sign. And I said, yeah. And so eventually she came, and it was good. I taught her a few things about Buddhism, mostly loving kindness, and uh, and she got a lot of benefit from it. And there was another lady who also who came, and she's in the agriculture uh, business, and she brought her husband another time, and then her husband brought uh, his brother, her brother-in-law, and so I think they're gonna maybe volunteer to help support the place, which is a big burden. It's been kept alive um, literally by a shoestring in terms of the support. If you even if you have property that's paid off, or you don't have any property taxes or anything like that, and um, you still have to maintain it. Um, so we'll see what happens actually. So it's I think it was a big relief for that one lady who supports the place, um, in some cases single-handedly, especially for the downtime when no one's living there. And so we had a lot of people there, and we did the Patimokkha there twice. It's probably probably I think I counted 7 monks one time, and I think you can't really get that going at almost any monastery actually. So or it'd be very rare. And so the place was alive, and then it was time for me to go again. So we'll see if I go back. I think there could be another short trip to go back, and maybe I can find some people to alternate going there. I like the support of Sri Lanka. I have the whole infrastructure of Sri Lanka. Even though I have like a whole house, that if I wanted, I don't have to invite other monks, but I usually like other monks with me, or Kapia, or some other things. I like people around, and especially monks, But I have a whole house and 4 acres, but it's literally just a bubble, and you have to do things to make it work. It's an effort. It's Sri Lanka, you have a place, the culture, and everything that's made for. It's it naturally supports the monks. It's very beautiful. Today actually, some donors came um, to offer food, and it's a bus conductor and his family. And I was taking a bus back to Kandy, and he says, I'll help you if you need help. I'll help you. Here's my telephone number. So I had my helper talk with him, because he doesn't speak English, and so he was helping me uh, with my bi-monthly. I twice per month I had to go to the Colombo area, and he would help me get on a bus, a pleasant bus. The AC buses, they don't have this really loud music, and where the monk sits is like right below the speaker, and it's this awful music that just repeats over and over again. It's the same genre, which is like, it sounds like the same song over and over again. But it's like really loud, and it sticks in your mind. But the AC bus is um, it's just checking to see if I have allegiance. It's a lot nicer, um, mostly because it's quiet. It's also AC, but they don't blare the music. Sometimes no music. A lot of times no music, and so it's very very nice. And and yeah, so eventually, we tried to have him reimbursed for the ticket that he was providing, and because we had to arrange for him to pick me up, sort of like in the middle of the route, which is very difficult to do, especially for the AC buses, especially for the monks, because we always get the front seat, and if they can't give us the front seat, they don't pick us up. They'd rather not pick us up than to give us to because they can't give us the front seat. So we could arrange that before they even leave. They save the seat for us, and uh, and so it was really good. So eventually he came here. He came here for a visit, and he brought some soup, and then another week later he brought his whole family here, and to offer the morning meal. And so that's really beautiful. And this is like Sri Lankan culture, So um, yeah, so it's very beautiful. So we'll see if I can go back to um, Florida. Maybe I'll stay a little longer than a month. But in terms of you know long term, long term staying, um, I'd like to keep my status here in Sri Lanka. Visa is very nice, and um, it's not easy to get in. Once you're in, it's good. So I just thought I'd share with you about the experience in Florida, in the USA, in the trip, and how we were able to um, generate support through the alms bowl. And so this is the natural way that monks sustain themselves, and and because of that, it was a really nice feeling. It was it just brought everything alive. And not only did it like wake up the place, by having a monk there, but it was alive. The teachings were alive. Like it was working. You could just have go with your bowl and see what happens, and it really was happening. And so I'm happy to share that with you.